Happy Monday, everybody. Okay, so today we're supposed to be doing our wrap-up for Module 11. So basically what we're doing is just the Ready to Go On, which is in Go Math. Again, you can just print this out if you want and follow along. It might give you a little bit more room to do it. If you want to just do it in your textbook, that's totally fine too. The way I'm going to do this is I'm going to have you guys complete the questions, pause it, complete the question, and then unpause and check the answer, okay? And that way we can kind of make this more like a review like we would have done in class, okay? So for Module 11.1, it was writing equations to represent situations, and one of the things that we did was check if something was a solution. So go ahead and pause, try these on your own, and then unpause and check your answers. Okay, here's the answers for number 1 and 2. For number 1 and number 2, we're doing everyone's favorite, plug it in, plug it in. So when you plug in 60 for B, you get 60 divided by 12 is 5, and indeed 5 is equal to 5, so that would be a solution. But for number 2, when you plug in 12, remember that when you have a coefficient and a variable together, that means it's multiplication, and when you plug it in, you need those parentheses. Remember, if I didn't write those parentheses, I would have had 712 equals 87, which is obviously not what I want. But either way, when I do 7 times 12, I get 84. So 84 does not equal 87, which tells us that W equals 12 is not a solution. Okay, let's move on to number 3. We're going to write an equation to represent this situation. The number of eggs in the refrigerator, E, decreased by 5 equals 8. Give it a shot. Okay, and here's the answer. The number of eggs, which is E, decreased by 5, which means if I take 5 away, is equal to 18. Nice and easy. All right, let's move on to lesson 11.2, which was adding and subtracting with equations. So go ahead, pause this, try these 4, and we'll come back. For these ones, you don't have to check, but it's very helpful for you if you check every time. I see a lot of you doing that all the time on all the homeworks and the classwork. It's great. Okay, so go ahead and give this a pause and try them, and I'll be right back. Okay guys, so here's our solutions. Remember that when we're solving equations, for each one we're looking at the variable and asking what's happening to it. So in this case, we're subtracting 38 from R, so we always do the inverse operation. We do the opposite. So the opposite of subtracting 38 is adding 38. When I do to one side, I do to the other side. So I end up with R equals 47. For H, I'm undoing adding by 17, so I subtract 17 from both sides. I get H equals 23. For number 6, I'm undoing adding 75, so that's subtracting 75 from both sides, and I get N equals 80. And for number 7, I'm undoing subtracting 17, so I'm adding 17 to both sides. And for that, I get Q equals 35. Okay. For 11.3, these are our multiplication and division equations. So again, let's give these a shot, do them yourself, and then compare your answers to mine. Okay, here is our all of our solutions for 11.3. Again, the same as before. In each of these examples, you're asking yourself what's happening to the variable. So for 8, we're multiplying by 8. So to undo that, we divide by 8. We get Z equals 17. For 19, what's happening to D? We're dividing by 14. So to undo that, we multiply by 14 on both sides. Remembering that our super cool algebra is that we're using dots for multiplication and fractions for division. Okay, so I do that to both sides and I get D is 98. For number 10, I'm dividing by 28, so to undo that, multiplying by 28. You get a big number here, but that's okay. F is equal to 672. And by the way, guys, if you feel like your answer doesn't seem right, just check it, and then when you see that it works, you'll be fine. Number 11, we're multiplying by 3, so to undo that, we divide by 3 on both sides, and I end up with A is 19. Okay, so that's 11.3. And finally, 11.4, we talked about inequalities. So for this one, if you are copying your notes, if you have your textbook, I would definitely say maybe do this one in your textbook just so that you don't have to draw those number lines. But of course you can, especially if you have graph paper, it makes it really easier to sketch your own number line. Okay, so go ahead, pause it, and give it a shot. Remember to look for those keywords. Okay, here's our solutions. So for number 12, fewer than means less than. So fewer than 8 gallons means less than 8 gallons. So X is less than 8, or whatever variable you wanted to use. If it's less than, it's an open circle. Mommy. And it's to the left, so it goes this way. Hold on. So for number 13, there's at least 3 slices of bread left, so that means the smallest amount it could be is 3, but it might be more, so that's greater than or equal to. So X is greater than or equal to 3. Since it has the or equal to, it means it could be 3, so it's circled, the circle's colored in. So it's greater than or equal to going to the right. Okay, so I want you guys, I know you don't love to answer these, but I do want you to try to answer the essential question on your own. How do we solve problems involving equations that contain addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division? I think that we've done enough of this that you guys will be able to answer this very nicely. Okay, so if anyone needs their Go Math login information, just let me know, because I'm like 98% sure the homework is in the book. So if you have your Go Math book, you can do it. I'm pretty sure it's the Are You Ready for Module 12. Okay, so if you need the book, if you have the book at home, you're good. Just do it in the book, take a picture of it. If you don't have the book, then you can just go online. If you don't remember your password for Go Math, the my.hrw.com password, then you can send me a comment or message or an email or remind or anything, and I will send that information to you. Okay, guys, have fun.